Hey guys, this is Jessica. Welcome back to my channel, The Retro Farmhouse. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and give you guys another farm vlog of what we're doing. A lot of updates to a lot of gardens and things that we've been working on, and to also show you how we're doing our new in-ground garden and what we've done to incorporate our chickens and ducks to help us to achieve some better soil amendment. So let's jump right in and I'll show you guys what we've been working on this past weekend. So as I mentioned before, to prepare this big garden, we basically put our chickens and ducks over this space for several weeks. And we also had a compost pile that we had in here as well. And one of the things that the chickens really can help with besides adding fertilizer is they are helping spread the compost. Next, we went ahead and just kind of tilled this area so that it was well combined. And one little trick we like to use here to get our rows straight is just some stakes on each side with just some string.
We have created these mounds and created a little walkway in between that's about 1 foot wide, so we'll have probably about 3, maybe 4 rows. But we're just using a flathead shovel just to create our walkway, and once that's all done, we'll be able to start planting.
I always like to add in a little bit of organic fertilizer to our garden before we plant in it. And this I just got off of Amazon. I'll put a little link below if anybody's interested for using it in their garden. This is my first year using this, but I've already seen some great results from my tomato plants that I've used this on. And obviously just follow the directions on the back, but I'm just kind of sprinkling this in here so that we can kind of work it into the dirt.
So one of the things that I've done with my garden this year is I have this little notebook that I have of all of the places that we've planted, and I kind of draw a little diagram, and this helps me to know, what areas I've planted. I like to put when they planted, how much I've planted, and I find that this helps a lot better. I tried using the little markers and just writing on those, but I find the sun, after a while, the sun and the weather elements tend to bleach it out and you can't see it anymore. I'm sure there's certain markers that you can get that are like UV resistant and things like that, but I just find this a lot easier to just write it out, and that way I can go back to my diagram and see, what am I growing, and then this also gives me a record from year to year to see what grew best in what area, what did we have success with growing, what maybe we didn't have success with growing, and also, that also depends on where you live. We're in zone 9, I believe, and so we'll grow different things down here compared to somebody who lives in Connecticut or Maine or something like that. So this I like to follow a little garden planner that it's based on your area that you live in, and also a lot of the extension offices, you can contact them and they have a lot of booklets and things like that will tell you what grows best in your area. So certain things will grow better down here. We tend to have a longer growing season, but I just wanted to share this little tip that I use. I just usually put it in a little planner or a little notebook like this to really help me from year to year.
Here's a little bit better view of the little mountains that we made with our little walkways in between, and I plan on putting some mulch wood chips in between here for the walkways. That really tends to help hold in some moisture when you're watering these. And of course, there's my little helper again. She loves to help do anything, and this is a great activity if you have kids or grandkids. They just love to put the little seeds in the ground, and that's also something that you can teach them with how to grow their own food. And you may notice right here I'm using this little stick. This is just a little piece of a dowel I have, and I've kind of marked that to 1/2 inch and 1 inch which is just the general seed depth that you use for most seeds, and on the back of the packet it'll usually tell you that, but that just helps me to, you know, get a more accurate amount. Obviously you can use your finger as well, and I'm also using a measuring tape here that really helps me to know where my spacing is as far as being able to space out my seeds and how large these plants will get, so that way they don't get overcrowded. I like to go ahead and moisten my soil before I plant my seeds, but I also add a little bit of water afterward. And I do recommend that if you're going to add some water, to use a spray nozzle that is not really harsh or something that you can adjust, because you don't want to wash your seeds away. Something else we also like to do is, after I weed some of my gardens, I usually just give the weeds to the chickens and the ducks. They love eating the scraps.
Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of explaining on some of our eggs right here. This is one of our chickens that lays green eggs. So this is one of our chicken eggs, and then if you can see, this is one of our bigger duck eggs. These are more opaque looking, and we got a nice little surprise this morning, and one of our female geese, she laid her first egg that we saw. Apparently they only lay about 25 eggs a year, so I just wanted to show you in comparison to these other two. Look how big this egg is compared to a chicken egg and a duck egg. It's absolutely massive. The thing, I don't know how much it weighs, but I mean, it's almost as big as my hand. It's got, it's dirty right now because they lay on the ground outside as well, so they're not going to be clean as the chicken eggs. But you can definitely eat these. We're going to try it out in something soon and see, but I was just very surprised to see how big this egg was, and I wanted to show you guys.
And on this particular day, it was time to move them again. They'd been on this spot for a couple days, so we try to move them every couple days, and we're really trying to amend this soil in the pasture so that we have better grass growth for our horses. Here's my husband, he's just moving our chicken tractor here. It's got wheels on it, and we put all the chickens in it, and they just move right along to the next spot. As you can see here and hear from their little sounds, they just love it when you put them on new grass. It's like candy for them. They just go crazy and they're eating up all the bugs and the grass and everything that they can find. And it's just a way to kind of do that whole element of like grass-fed animals. And here's an example here. This is where they were previously. You can see how much they've basically mowed down the area and how much it's really going to help to grow some new grass back. Also, just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what springtime looks like here. We have some of our different flowers blooming, and it's just so nice to come out and see all these different colors. Sound asleep. Hockey man, you taking a nap? I'm enjoying the sunshine. Huh. And here's some updates on those raised beds that I made. I've planted some of my tomato plants. I did grow a lot of these from seeds, and I used grow lights. And I planted those way back in February, and they are just doing great here out on the side. I can't wait to have some tomatoes, and then here's some eggplants. Lots of things that maybe I'll get into doing some canning for the harvest whenever those are ready. And then over here we have a little bit of cucumbers growing as well. And then on that previous area that I showed you guys on our last farm vlog, we have a little bit of collard greens, some kale, lots and lots of lettuce growing. I've been harvesting quite a bit of this already. And then we just have a few little areas of green beans and some squash. And then a little herbs. I've got a few places of some basil, and also our update on our little container gardens we have spinach, which I've already used that quite a bit, and some onions and shallots, just all kinds of other little things that I can't wait to incorporate in part of our kitchen. And this is a box I built. It's actually 2 of those garden beds stacked on top, and we used some leftover barrels that we had. We cut those in half and drilled some holes in the bottom, and I've planted some of my pepper plants in here. Now I've put this fencing on top because Skip decided that he wanted to come over here and take a nibble, so he actually ate like 2 or 3 of these plants already. And I didn't really think he would do that, but I had plenty extra, so I can replant that. And over here we just repurposed one of our watering containers, and I've planted some more cucumbers because I really want to do some canning with some pickles. And here's some of the last little seedlings I have left that I need to replant. I hope you guys enjoyed today's farm vlog, and I hope you learned a little bit something about the little farming life we have going on here, as well as putting in our garden. I hope you guys are keeping busy and enjoying the springtime weather, and stay tuned. We'll have some more DIYs coming soon.